All right, we're going to get started on our morning work. So if you would please grab your morning workbook and turn to page 53 and have something to write with. We're going to go ahead and correct and then get started on the next day. All right. Okay, so we were connecting abbreviations to their description yesterday. And so we're going to correct our answers. So, Mr. Would that go to a doctor, a married or unmarried woman, an unmarried man, woman, excuse me, a man and a married woman? So that would go to man. All right. Right. Mrs. Would that be a married woman or an unmarried woman? That would be an unmarried, or a married woman, excuse me, as Mrs. Goodness sakes, boys and girls. Am I having a time? Okay. DR stands for doctor. Miss stands for a married or an unmarried woman. And Ms. stands for, oh no, I'm sorry. An unmarried woman is that one. And Ms. is up here. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Okay. Let's see if I can do this a little bit better. 8 times 30. So we could do the 0 times the 8 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. Hope that's what you found too. 0 times 7 is 0, and 5 times 7 is 35. So just correct these if you made any mistakes. You can just write the new answer on the side. 0 times 1 is 0, and 9 times 1 is 9. 0 times 6 is 0, and 9 times 6 is 54. 0 times 8 is 0, and 2 times 8 is 16, 160. 0 times 3 is 0, and 6 times 3 is 18, 180. 0 times 5 is 0, and 6 times 5 is 30, 300. So just check your answers here. Fix anything that you have made a mistake on. And then on this one, we're going to read the story, and then we're going to write a question that we could ask our students, and then write a question that we thought wasn't answered. So every part of Earth's surface looks different. That's because Earth has different landforms. Landforms are natural shapes or features of land. There are many kinds. Mountains are steep hills or areas where the ground is higher than the area around it. A plain is an area of flat land with very few trees. A valley is flat like a plain, but it lies between two hills or mountains. A plateau is a flat area of land that is on top of a mountain or hill. A canyon is a deep, narrow area. All right, so if you were the teacher and you had given this to your class and you want to make sure your students understand the text, write a question you could ask them. All right, so what could we ask students? We could say, what, you might have a different answer than me too, and that's okay. What landforms are around us, like where we live? We could ask what landforms are around us so that we could see if they could identify the different ones. Write a question that you have about landforms that wasn't answered in the text. Okay. I might say, do all areas have these landforms? Or I could say, how do landforms become different? All right, because how did they become a mountain? How did they become a valley? How did they become a plateau? So we can add any of those kinds of questions in there. All right, if you had any trouble with them, you can take mine, or you probably have some wonderful ones on your own. So that is great. All right, so if you need to copy anything, go ahead and pause. Here's the page again. Hopefully you can see that. All right, and then we're going to turn to page 54. All right, on page 54, it says write the state name next to its abbreviation. You might need a little help with this, okay? How could you get help? You could look at a United States map. You could sit with a family member to help you. You could look up on Google a map of the United States, and you could even put a map of the United States with abbreviations. You could do any of those, but go ahead and write them on here. Just remember, the beginning letter of each of these states has to be capital because it's a proper noun. All right, so we're on to solve the problem. We're going to figure out, like a division problem, but we're reversing it. Multiplication. 5 times what will give you 250? Well, let's think about it. 5 times what will give you 25? Well, I can skip count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I know that that's a 5. And 5 times what will give me 0? 0. Now, if I reverse it, 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so take your time to go through these and figure out what the answer could be. Okay, you're kind of reversing it. This one, you're just going to straight multiply. But on these, what would get you to 64? What would get you to 12? On the bottom, it says, read the text, then answer the question. So look at all these questions. Let's look at these. What is the text about? Now remember, in asking and answering questions, we're talking about restating part of the question and the answer. The text is about, and then you can give me your answer. Who is the text about? The text is about, and then you tell us who. When is the story? Is it in the past, present, or future? How do you know? So the story takes place in the, and you'll put one of these because it says, that way you tell how you know. You're citing your evidence. Where is the text focused on? The text is focused on, and then tell me. How are the brothers different? The brothers are different because. All right, so let's read it. My name is Dwight. My brother Cyrus and I decorate our bedrooms differently. I hang movie posters on my white walls. His walls are painted green, and he keeps them bare. Yesterday, Cyrus got a new globe. He has lots of globes in his room. I don't find them interesting. I have a shelf to organize all of my favorite movies. What is this text about? Who is it about? When is it taking place and how do you know? Where is it focused on and how are the brothers different? Okay, so that is what you will do for your morning work today. And we will correct it tomorrow, so you'll want to have all of that finished today so that it will make way more sense for you tomorrow when we correct it. All right, guys, I'm going to head over to vocabulary. I will see you there.